Hey everyone, we are about a minute or two late because I was in the green room yammering away. Steve and I can talk to each other for hours. And so this is a treat for you to kind of get a sneak peek behind the scenes of us talking shop about sales, marketing, making offers, building an MSP. And so we are going to have a ton of fun over the next 20, 30 minutes. Steve, are you there? And can you hear me okay?
5 by 5. I'm here. I'm ready to
I
go.
love it. I love it. Okay, cool. So let's jump in. We are obviously talking today about the Ultimate IT Growth Conference, which you've been to before. So, can you kind of take a step back? We'll talk about what's coming up this year, but take a step back to the last year or two when you came to the event and just share maybe one or two of your takeaways or something that you want people to know.
Jennifer, I don't really go to a lot of these events. I typically tend to be more of a homebody. So it was a little bit, unusual for me to go to your event last year in Orlando. And the thing that I promised myself after I went to that event is that I wouldn't miss another one of your events. And the reason why was really twofold. The first was you had some incredible, incredible presenters that dropped some serious knowledge bombs. I mean, I took away a lot of value.
Awesome.
The other side of that was that I met some people there in the MSP industry that I still collaborate with a year later. And the collaboration that you get from these types of events, especially if it doesn't end at the end of the event, is extremely valuable. So those were the two big, really big takeaways for me, and the reason why I'm not going to miss another one of your events.
I love it. It's so interesting because we knew what we were going to talk about, but I didn't know what your answers were going to be. So thank you for that. Thank you for warming my heart. It is obviously a massive effort to put on an event, but it is a labor of love. And you said a few things. You said value, you said collaboration, two of my favorite words. And then the last thing that you said, you don't know this, but having conversations after the event, that's one thing that we have heard over and over again. I think it's because of the caliber of sponsors who come, the caliber of MSPs that come. So we've shifted things just a tiny bit this year. Our networking event is going to be at the beginning of the event, which then allows people to go out to dinner after the first day or the second day. And so that opens up some doors that were not there previously because there are really some great collaboration opportunities. So I love that. And you mentioned dynamic speakers. So no pressure, but this year you are actually speaking. So you get to be one of those dynamic speakers, which I'm very excited about.
I know, right? It's kind of a maybe a little bit intimidating. I mean, last year the speakers were so great, and I'm just hoping I can live up to that and deliver some really really good value to the MSP community.
So it's funny because not a lot of those, a couple of those speakers, it was their first time speaking on stage, and you never would have known it. The crowd is always so welcoming. The room is not a massive room. We keep it pretty tight and pretty small on purpose for the attendees, but then it also helps the speakers know that they're not speaking to a massive room of 1,500 people, that they can just get up there and have a conversation and shine, just step into their
Yeah.
greatness. So you're going to be talking about making killer offers. And so I will pull up your actual title and synopsis because it is so good. But you are talking about the anatomy of a grand slam offer for MSPs. Irresistible offers, sharing your step-by-step process to make sure your prospects want to buy enthusiastically. So let's talk about that a little bit. Why was that something that you spent 6 months, a year perfecting? Let's kind of take a step back. Where were you before you got this piece of the puzzle figured out?
If you think about the MSP industry in general, and my MSP, I own an MSP, no different than anyone else. Um, we offer a lot of the same things, right? And um, the underlying issue that I ran into over and over and over again was that my client or my prospects, I shouldn't say my clients, my prospects would tell me that they didn't really need the service. Like, the cold caller will call up, try and set the appointment, but we don't need someone, or we've already got someone for that, over and over and over again. And as a result of that, our customer acquisition cost was incredibly high, right?
Can you
Incredibly.
can you quantify that for me? Do you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I do. Like upwards of $40,000 per client.
Whew, that is
Yeah,
high.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So incredibly high. And I talked to a friend of mine. He owns a $3 million MSP in a different market on the West Coast, and his customer acquisition cost is closer to 75,000. So this is a problem across the board. You talk to an MSP. Well, how many new clients did you get last year? Five. Okay. Well, what's your marketing budget plus your? Oh, well, it's $200,000. So
Yes.
5 clients cost you salary, marketing budget, everything $200,000.
Right. And time, right? You have to look at the time cost as well. If that's
Absolutely.
and five is probably, I hear sometimes two or
Yeah.
zero clients in a single year. So okay,
And
so
so,
your CAC, your customer acquisition cost super high.
yep.
Kind of feeling a little bit of the commodity war where you're selling exactly the same as all of your competitors, or perhaps it looks that way to the prospect. And is that anything else that led you to saying I need a way to compel my prospects to buy from me?
Well, it was a matter of looking at the market, right? Because and kind of figuring out why we were having this problem, right? So you've got 3 different core markets that you could sell into, right? You've got a growing crazy market. Think toilet paper and COVID. If you were selling
Yes.
toilet paper during COVID, you were going to sell out. That's a crazy market. Buy, 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 right? It doesn't matter who you are. Now, you've got a normal market. That's what most MSPs find ourselves in. We're in this kind of normal, stable market. We're all competing against each other, at the local, state, regional, national level. And we're a standard normal market. And then you've got a declining market, right? And that declining market is like the newspaper industry versus the internet. That market is declining, 20% year over year. So even if you're doing great, you're still losing ground, right? So I looked at the marketplace and I thought, okay, in a normal market or in a crazy market, I could sell this all day long. This is
Sure.
not a deal. But in a normal market, what's my differentiator, right? Well, okay, if it's a normal market and I'm selling the same thing everyone else is selling, then the only thing that matters when I show up at the prospect site is my ability to persuade them to choose me. That's the only thing that matters. But if I looked at my offer and I made my offer different and more compelling, now I've got something else that I can that's a tool, right? If I'm delivering more value to you, right? That makes a big difference
And it seems
in
like it would
your
also
decision.
make a big difference, like from your confidence, your excitement when you're talking about it and selling it.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
okay, so I love the analytical approach. That's going to resonate with so much with the audience because these guys and a few gals, mostly guys, are super analytical. They are very like data science, data nerds. However you want to focus, like they like digging into that kind of thing. So they're going to agree with the premise. Okay, possibly a shrinking market, definitely a commoditized market, hard to differentiate yourself. So you said, how about if I create an offer or message my offer in such a way that it's super compelling?
Yep.
So you spent a week and whiteboarded it and success, right?
No, no. Actually, we went through like 6 iterations, 7 iterations, and I'll tell you something. Even when we started to see success, we didn't stop, right? Because your first time you will fail. I mean, it's a guarantee. Unless you get incredibly lottery lucky, you're going to fail your first offer, your second offer, your third offer. And the goal is understanding your client avatar, right? Whoever you want to sell to, whomever you want to help. Understanding what they want. What is their dream outcome, right? What do they want to accomplish? And then building an offer that does that. But doing that in such a way that you deliver overwhelming value that is obvious and to the blindest of the blind versus the next person and the next person and the next person. That's the secret. And you can't get there until you understand that client. And understand that client is a never ending job. You're always going to work to understand that client better and better and better.
I love that. First of all, I love that you speak in analogies because I'm convinced it's my love language. I love analogies. You can say so much. And what I'm hearing you say is, in addition to iterating, you have to run through the finish line. Like even when you think you got the perfect offer, continue to make it better, continue to test messaging, maybe add features to it, etc. So this iteration, and you talked about, you just assume that your first offer is going to fail. My first couple of offers failed in the MSP market. Even though I thought I knew what they needed, my messaging was really, really off. And once I finally landed on the right messaging, it changed everything for me and for my business and for the results that I was getting, because I started attracting the right type of clients, the clients I could service very, very well. But it's interesting. The very first session that I'm talking about is all about failure and reframing failure, because so many of us play it safe because we think failure is bad. And failure is actually good. And so we're going to talk about that and hopefully reframe the way people in the room look at failure. Okay, so you iterated version number 6, I think you said. How did you know, like without completely giving away the farm, I don't want you to give away the entire session, but how did you know when you had finally figured out the right offer?
The deals start to close.
Love it.
you know, and if you get to an offer, and let's say that you call 100 people, going back to that analytical brain approach, right? You call 100 people, and none of them book an appointment. That tells you a lot. That failure tells you a lot. That tells you that whatever you said to them or whatever your cold caller said to them did not resonate. It didn't. So now you adjust your offer a little bit, right? Tweak it just a little bit. Change out something that's higher value.
And then make another 100
calls.
You
make another 100 calls. And does anyone respond? Oh, you got one appointment out of 100. Okay, congratulations, you're at 1%, right?
It's better than 0 out of 100. Let the data speak. Yes.
And so then you keep on improving, you keep on tweaking, and you get to that point of success, right? Where it's enough for your business, enough for you, right? And theoretically, you could keep on tweaking and keep on tweaking. You might not ever get to 100%, but you're going to get a lot better than you were, right?
Yes. I love it. I love it. Okay. So you came to the event last year. This year, you're going to be on the stage. If anybody is listening and they don't have their ticket yet, what would you say to them? What would your advice be?
One of the things that I loved about the event last year was that it was smaller, because personally, I don't like huge crowds. I went to a Continuum event one time in Las Vegas, and it was just crowds everywhere. Oh my gosh. And so that tells you how long I've been in the industry too. But with that being said, I love that it was a smaller event, a smaller venue. I love that I was able to collaborate and actually learn some of the names of some of the other people. And so what I would say is get your ticket, get it now. If I don't know if you've got any promos or special offers or anything, but if you do, get it now so that you can take advantage.
Okay. So we did not plan this because we just the luck of the draw here. This week, we do have a promo. So if you get your ticket by Saturday, and yes, we're watching the dates, and no, you can't buy it Sunday and still get this promo by Saturday. I'm sorry if your internet dies. I'm sorry if the dog eats your mouse. Like I can't help you, but Saturday deadline. If you get your ticket by Saturday, you are entered to win you're entered into a raffle to win the Lego Avengers tower. It's a Marvel tower. It's the Marvel. I think it's Iron Man's house. I don't know what it is. It's a big tall tower, $500 Lego. It's sweet. I showed it to my marketing manager and she said, I want that. And so I made her a little bit of a bet and I said, hey, if we can achieve this goal, I'll buy you an Avengers Marvel Tower Lego thing. It is all good. So, and it's interesting because I had someone message me yesterday and say, I bought my ticket months ago. Am I still in the raffle? 100% you are. I'm not going to disincentivize you from being an early adopter and getting your ticket back when they were $97 or $47 or wherever we started. So anyone who gets their ticket up until and including Saturday will be entered into that raffle. Go to mspsalesrevolution.com/ultimate and get your ticket to the Ultimate IT Growth Conference. Get your ticket by Saturday, and you might still be able to get a hotel room, and you'll be entered into that raffle, which we will announce the winner at the event. So you're going to hear from Steve. You're going to hear from a panel of people who have built their MSP to 5 million and beyond. We've got a cool panel session on artificial intelligence and how to leverage that in your MSP. We are talking about marketing. We're talking about sales, how to upsell your existing clients. It doesn't matter if you're upselling them cybersecurity or co-managed or maybe a compliance offer, or maybe it's AI as a service, maybe not today, but maybe in 6 months or a year. How are you going to do that? And there's some fundamentals that you need to know there. This event is going to be phenomenal. Breakfast is included every day. Lunch is included every day. And if you get a VIP ticket, you get some goodies, including dinner the first full night. So come, it's in Dallas, Texas. It's going to be a great time. Cannot wait to see you there. Steve, can't wait to see you there. And this is going to be your stage debut, right?
Yeah, I've been on a couple of stages before, but never a stage in front of my fellow MSP owners. So I'm
Amazing.
looking forward to it, and so go easy on me, guys. Go easy on me.
It'll be great. My crew is amazing. No one's going to heckle you or throw rotten tomatoes. I promise. Oh, so appreciate your time, Steve. Can't wait to see you in about a month. Guys, get your ticket. Ultimate IT Growth Conference. Go to mspsalesrevolution.com/ultimate. Get your ticket, get it by Saturday, and be entered to win the Lego. We will see you there. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate your time.